right, y'all. Today is another beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're still living next door to one another. I mean, the water boys and the crime have not ran us out of the neighborhood yet, so I'm excited about it. And I'm sure you are too, because you know what? We are protected. And let me tell you why we're protected, because I have a special guest on today that's a pastor. And yes, honey, you know, he's the closest thing to God. So, honey, we're going to be happy and we're going to stay living in the neighborhood. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce y'all to Pastor Dwight Buckner. Pastor Buckner, tell everybody good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me, Brother Gary. Everybody's great to be here. Just a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Well, listen, Pastor, honey, I'm going to, do some stuff that, that is going to get me, I'm sure it's going to get me to heaven, but it might not get me quickly there. But you're going to just sit and you're going to continue to pray and help me out as I go along my way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on.
All right. Well, anyway, so Pastor, first of all, I just want to start, it's a beautiful day and I'm glad you're on with us. And, I have to say some things that's been on my heart, that's been happening lately in the world with some of these wonderful people, some of our celebrity friends, and you'll be the great person to kind of help me out with some of this, because you studied the Bible and some of the things that's in the Bible, and some of these things may not be biblical and some of these things may be biblical, but you're going to be able to help me out with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I got you.
Thank you. So first of all, I want to start with, I don't know, Pastor, if you heard about it, but it's a wonderful couple by the name, let me put this on side, of Will and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes.
You heard of them?
I heard of them.
Well, let me tell you something, Pastor. Will went on ahead and admitted to the world, y'all, that he and his beautiful wife, they had an open marriage. And, he said some things that really, it didn't shock me, because I already kind of heard about it and stuff like that, he and Jada was having an open marriage. And, when Jada admitted last year that she had an entanglement, that was the new word for last year, entanglement, that she had an entanglement. And now Will decided to go ahead and open up. And he told us some things that he, was having, an affair. And so, because the marriage was open and what have you, so he decided to keep the door open. And he was saying some things about some ladies that he had liked, that he would have loved to have been with, Halle Berry, and what's that doggone woman name? She was a ballerina. I'm trying to get her name.
I wish I knew.
I'm gonna get her name right now, because honey, we need to know, because the world needs to know, and Jesus definitely needs to step in and help this situation. But hold on, let me put it right. I gotta put it. Her name is Misty Copeland. Yes, Miss Misty Copeland. Beautiful lady. She's a ballerina. She's one of the first Black ballerinas to be principal, in the world. So that's a big position. And her husband name is Olu Evans. He's a big time attorney, and stuff like that. Right. But my thing is, Pastor, this is not so much a new thing for some people in the world, but Africans in America, we're starting to have more open marriages now and starting to do some of these things that, that we have not done before in our lives and stuff. As a pastor, is that godly? Because I know some people said in the Bible that men had 50, 60 wives. And they said you got many wives as you want, as long as you could afford them. Is that the new thing now, do you think?
Well, I'll say this. I think we're running a real thin line when we talk about, open marriage. I think if you're gonna have an open marriage, you might as well just keep dating, because pretty much no reason in just being tied down into it. You still want to do your thing. So, in terms of an open marriage, even with Will and Jada, I think they went into it with, of course, the agreement that both of them would be able to spend their time with other people. They'd be able to enjoy each other. But I think if that was the case, they should have just remained completely single. Because what happens is your emotions begin to get attached with other people. Soul ties get attached, all this other stuff. Clearly, Jada admitted last year she had an entanglement, which means that the person that she was involved with, she got very seriously with. And I think if that's the case, then why not just remain single? I don't think you should date each other. Just do your thing, hang out, do whatever you got to do. But when it comes to marriage, I'm a big advocate in marriage. When it comes to marriage, I think that you and the significant other should just stay together and leave everybody outside, because when everybody comes in, that's confusion. So just play the field, enjoy the field. Don't call it marriage if that's what it is. Just say I'm just enjoying my single life still.
Yeah, so but then you got Pastor. Cause now, if you grew up in a Christian background, like I'm sure
Right.
they did, then they'll say you're sinning because you commit adultery because you're doing all these worldly things like having sex or whatever and not
Right.
being married. So I don't know. It's just confusing.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Singles in particular, if you're single, I mean, you want to strive to try to live a life by where you're not giving your body away. It's hard nowadays because television media, everything promotes flesh and kissing and hugging and all the other stuff. So it's hard. So I think in this day and time, you have to really make up in your mind. Do you want to be open? Do you want people to take advantage of your body? Do you want to give yourself away to people that you're not married to or under covenant with? Do you want to just experiment? Whatever it is, it's your choice. But I think the best thing to do will be to make up in your mind in terms of who it is you want to be with, make that work, try to make it work. I think it's possible. I run into a lot of men all the time, even that I work with, that say, listen, it's hard for me to be tied down to one person. And I understand as a man, it can be challenging. And even as a woman, it can be challenging. But I think it comes with maturity. Maturity says that I'm disciplined enough to make this work with one individual.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person. And I was saying this the other. I hate this word jealous, but I'm the jealous type, honey. If we can't be together, ain't nobody being together. Because I'm not about to sit here and be with you, and then be somebody else. You with me at 5, and then you with somebody else at 8. I don't think so.
Look, Gary, I told my wife, I said, if you leave me, I'm moving next door because I'm not going to be able to handle it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You leave me, I'm coming right with you.
Exactly. So I'm like, but that's good though. I mean, they making a whole lot of people change their minds about that. Anything that happens in Hollywood, it affects the commoners, and we want to be just like them. So
Absolutely.
we want to do all that and have all that stuff. So, but bless their spirit, and that's good. They could still stay together. I mean, after all that, honey, me, and he. So it's just something. So
right.
We're gonna keep them lifted in prayer.
Yeah, we got to. We have to. We have to.
And speaking of lifted in prayer, Pastor, now Gabrielle Union, now she's speaking out. She said she was worried about Dwayne Wade's intentions after her first marriage left her a little lighter financially. So in essence, she said her family and friends thought that Dwayne was going to come in and take her coins, not knowing that he had more coins than her. But she told Jimmy Kimmel that, she said that the question was, she said, your family was nervous that Dwayne Wade was going to take your money. She said yes, because it had happened before. She said there was some president there. She said otherwise known as her first marriage. Now her first marriage, evidently he had no money, but I think he was a sports player, but he didn't have Dwayne Wade's money. And
he didn't have Dwayne Wade's money.
Yeah, and he left her a little lighter financially and stuff. So now she got Dwayne.
Yeah, well, I think the issue with Gabrielle was the fact that she saw Dwayne Wade through her old lenses, through her old relationship, and I think oftentimes when you're in a relationship, it was a bad one, or somebody was stealing the coins or treating you bad. Naturally, you're going to see your new individual like the last person. So that was something that she had to be, free from. If it's anybody that you think is going to take your money, it should be somebody that never had no money. Dwayne Wade, who was NBA star legend, retired now, of course, but no, he wasn't the one.
Well, guess what? I could imagine what his first wife, Savon, thought when she saw her. When she came talking to her, being a damn friend, and before you know it, she then took that woman's husband. So, honey, she need to hush.
Listen. In that case, Dwayne Wade wanted what he wanted. He went after it. He went and got it.
No, she wanted what she wanted. She played like that damn woman's friend, saw her at a game and said, I'll tell your husband I said hi and all that, whatever, however it was said. And before you know it, this she was up in the bed with him. So, honey, she need to hush about how much lighter she was going to be, because now Savon is lighter without a husband. So.
Yeah. 100%, Gary. You 100%.
So, honey, Miss Union, I give her the side eye. But anyway, we love Gabrielle. She's a great person.
Yeah, we love Gabrielle. We love Will and Jada too.
Oh, we sure do. But this is a quick one though, Pastor. Now, this is something because you're an African-American man and y'all have a thing that y'all call the bro code. So what you think about this situation with Bow Wow and P. Diddy? And P. Diddy gave Bow Wow all types of advice about how to treat his family, how to treat a woman, how to do this and do that, and say, oh, by the way, I like Joy though, and took that man's woman to Italy, and now they supposed to be allegedly together and stuff. What happened to the bro code? Is the bro code no longer in existence now? Do y'all men just use that as just a term of endearment, or what is it?
Well, the bro code is significant. Out of respect, Bow Wow. I don't know if he did or not, but Bow Wow should have said, "Hey, man, I wanna date her. I want to take her." That's that. But if Puffy was not married to her, I mean, come on now.
Well, Bow Wow had her first.
Okay, well, then there it is.
And
there
have a child with her.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
Well, that's that.
Okay, well, they back together, but you can't fault Bow Wow. Now, the bro code is one of those things by where if I'm dating somebody or I'm still in love with somebody and you just come along the side and start doing sneaky stuff like you want them, that's different. But evidently she wanted Bow Wow because she went with him.
No, evidently she wanted P. Diddy because she went with him. He swept her away to Italy while Bow Wow was probably somewhere in
Diddy swept her away to Italy.
Yes. Okay. While Bow Wow was probably somewhere in Atlanta running behind JD, honey, Jermaine Dupri, trying to get him a new song. And baby Miss Joy was, honey, in Italy having crumpets and tea on the yacht with P. Diddy. And then Bow Wow he said he had an hour and a half long conversation with P. Diddy about it. But I mean, hey, y'all know how y'all men are, honey. One man's trash and another man's treasure. And y'all know men always like what somebody else had. So it's just, I don't understand how could bros do that.
Yeah. Well, real bros don't do that. Real bros will come out of respect and say, "Hey, man, we're not gonna cross those lines. We're not gonna date each other's exes. We're gonna move forward." Real bros, they don't do that.
Well,
now,
see,
if you fell out with the bro, if you fell out with him and y'all ain't talking, then that's a different story. But if y'all are cool, got great conversation, got a good relationship, then I think you owe it to each other to talk to each other and say, "Hey, man, I'm interested in so and so. Let's just want to let you know."
Well, bros need to get like the sisters, honey, because we don't even bring our mates around them. So ain't nobody gonna meet him, honey. You coming over? Girl, you can't come over now, Leroy here. So that's how the sisters do. So the bros might need to take that advice and don't bring y'all women around your bro, so you won't have to worry about that. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
That's neither here nor there, Pastor. But anyway, Pastor, I really appreciate you, honey, getting out of your box and doing something that you never would normally do, is sitting down and chit chat about, honey, what's happening in the world. What'd you say? I thought you said something. So Pastor Dwight, so I'm glad to have you. So, I mean, I know you got a lot of things going on in the world. I know you got some things that all the viewers need to know about. So I'm going to let you just go ahead on and tell us what's going on with Pastor Dwight Buckner and his mission and all the great things that he's doing for the world.
Okay. Well, I have a heart. You said it was going out. You said tell them a little bit about what I'm doing and stuff.
Yeah. Let us know what's going on with Pastor Dwight.
Okay. All right. So I just probably about 3 months ago released a book entitled 5 Things Every Man Needs. In there are 5 key essential tools I think that every man needs. But it's really a book written for women to understand the mind of men. In the book, I list things such as support. Men need support. They need affirmation. They need accountability. Men need sex. Men need, I said all those 4. But I believe that it's a book that's going to help women in terms of understanding how men think. I believe if a man has the right support system, he'll literally build a woman a house. If a man has the right accountability, he'll literally do the right thing. There are certain things that men need, and they need from their women. And in most relationships, I would even venture to say that sometimes women don't understand the mind of men fully. But in this book, I try to open up as a man so that women will understand how men think.
Really?
And the things that is not that we want to just sit and enjoy the club. Sometimes men are just looking for a safe place. They're looking for a place by where they can rest their head. They're looking for a place by where they can be themselves. And so in that book, I list a lot of things that I think women would be tools for women and for them to understand the mind of men. And really, it's for men as well. Well,
I think men need to say what they mean and mean what they say. I'm sure women would love to understand that part of a man. Don't you think? Because men can say one thing, honey, and do another. Y'all say, "Oh, baby, I love you," but then you really love the girl around the corner. So, I mean, if they would be more open and honest, I mean, I think relationship would be much better. Because women, I mean, I'm not a woman, so I can't really speak for women, but I do know from the women that I've experienced with and know that, women could love men and they'll do anything for a man, but a man just got to know how to be secure with himself and do what he needs to do as well. If men were more secure with themselves, this would be a better world. Like I was looking at a story now, with Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion, she's the face of Coach. So she's doing all this stuff for Coach. And she brought her friends along. And now she brought this new boyfriend that she got. She put him in the ad and stuff. What's his name? Payla, whatever his name is. But I'm like, okay, you then took your platform, honey, and then put him on in your thing. And now he's gonna become a star and he's gonna leave your ass, because that's what men do. Just because, honey, you didn't make him a big star and put him on there. Had he been the big star, I wonder had he put her on there. Probably wouldn't have. But that's what, men do some crazy things, Pastor.
If she's in love and that's who she wants, that's what she wants to do. It's her platform. She can bring what she wants on the platform.
But I wonder how much of it. But I wonder how much of it is love or is it, honey? Because you know how a lot of women got to do with you men. We got to build y'all up to make you feel good. Because if you ain't built up to feel good, honey, then now you're really going to do some crazy stuff. So we know a lot of women, honey, like make these men their managers and stuff because he ain't doing nothing else. So she got to build him up and stuff. Is that part of the book to let the woman know that the man need to be built up?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of the book. In the book that men need to be built up. But men don't need handouts. They don't need you to babysit them and to baby them. If you got a man where you got to babysit, bring him everywhere, do everything for him, then you got to reconsider that. I vaguely remember a couple of years ago that I was counseling, and she did everything for him. She bought all his clothes, did everything he wanted to do. And at the end of the day, he depended on her, and he really was living off of her, which was a bad situation. And so I think that in a healthy relationship, I think the man needs to be established at least to a certain point by where he'll be healthy enough today, where he has something to add to the relationship instead of just taking something away.
Why is it hard for a man to accept a woman that's quote unquote a little bit more successful than him? Because I would look at it like this: if I'm successful and I like you being broke, I said I like you being broke. Why can't you just accept it and we ride together? I like you for who you are. I didn't like you for what you had. It's obvious I like you and you're broke. So why can't men accept that?
Well, some men have a challenge with women, of course, like you said, being more independent, having more than they do, because they feel like they compare themselves. Well, because I'm not doing as much as her, then I'm not nothing. And sometimes men can be insecure and they can feel less than who they are because they can potentially be with somebody who has way more than them. But I think a real strong relationship with somebody who's really interested in you would help push you to the point where you guys can grow together. I'm a big advocate of getting with somebody that you're on the same level with so that you can grow together, because it's harder. If I marry somebody, come on, who has a salary of $2.3 million and I have a small salary, and it can work, but it's going to be challenging because I'm always going to feel like my salary will never amount up to yours unless we cut everything down and say, listen, we're going to start from ground zero together. We're going to come up together so you don't never see me above you and I'll never see you above me.
But Pastor, why is that? I don't understand that. If one is making more than the other, in particular, if the woman is making more than the man and stuff, but if she love you, she love you. Why can't you be secure enough to feel that regardless of how much money she has, I still love you?
Well, men like to feel like they're in control. And so sometimes they like to feel like they're in control. So they feel like they have an independent person who has their own money. They can go do whatever they want. Then they feel less like they have less control. Like, she's out of my reach or out of my league. I don't know exactly why they feel like that, but I know for a fact years ago, before I got married, when I was dating, I dated a few people that had an income bracket way higher than mine. And at some point midway through, I said, you know what, this ain't going to work. And it wasn't going to work for my reason, is because I felt like I wasn't quite at their level yet. And every time I was around them, I felt like I was less than them because they had way more than me. But that was just me. I don't know why a lot of men feel like that.
Yes, y'all do. And that's sad. And you messing up a good thing. This woman love you and care for you, but it's your insecurity that's making the relationship not even work. And that's sad. I think that's awful, but I know it happens all the time, But I guess
Right,
that's what
right.
that's what. But tell me this, okay, being a pastor and like you were saying, you want somebody, whatever. In essence, you were saying that you think somebody should marry somebody that's equally yoked, as the Bible say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say that again one more time, Gary.
Um, equally yoked. When you're saying a person should marry somebody on their level or whatever and stuff, that means somebody should marry somebody equally yoked. Is there such a thing as equally yoked?
Yeah, equally low. Yeah, and when we talk about equally yoked, I'm talking about more so, not even financially wise. I'm talking about so much spiritually equally yoked. Because I think if you're spiritually equally yoked, meaning that you guys share the same belief, it's easier to grow. It's easier to pray together. It's easier to try to get things worked out. That's one aspect. That's the main aspect I'm talking about. But then financially equally yoked, you may not be on the same level financially, but you can be close. But whatever it is, I think if I'm the millionaire in the house, it's my job to show my significant other or whoever I'm dating how to get there. I don't want to just leave them hanging, let them know, hey, I got all this going, and you're not there. And I think that though you may make less than somebody, you got to still know who you are and be secure in who you are. And you got to know that one day, just because I'm not at the level you're at, that God has something for me. I may not make the same income level as you. I may not have as much influence as you, but hey, I'm still significant. And I think sometimes the financial bracket, if they're way off or separate or distant, we can feel inferior or much insignificant than the other person. Hopefully, you can find somebody by where you make a decision together and say, listen, this is what these are our 3 and 6 year goals. Let's work on them. You might be in Hollywood right now. Nobody may know me, but help me and let's grow together and see how we can both have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, but from what I've been seeing in certain relationships, it's the insecure person that messes it all up because you don't feel that you're good enough. You don't feel that you don't make enough money and this and that and
Yeah.
other. But like I said, if I love you for you, not for the money you make, not for this, that, and the other. You're loved.
Right.
So
And if the insecure person got with somebody that had a lot of money, they were insecure before the relationship started.
yeah,
So yeah, so they have to deal with those insecurities regardless of how much money they make. Those insecurities will tear you apart.
yeah. It's an interesting thing. It's a sad thing though, but I think that's a good book, then, honey. I mean, people definitely need to go out and get it and read it and stuff. Maybe, but what you really need to do is put it in elementary schools so little boys can start reading it at an early age, and then bring one to their daddies, because it would help out a lot.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. I believe so. I believe
Yeah.
so.
Because that's what the problem is. I think when if we start off things at a younger age, now that when you get older, you won't have all these problems, all these marriages, makeup and breakups and all that stuff. I grew up with four. Well, actually, it's four in my immediate family, but it's 6 brothers and stuff like that, and none of us, had this problem that I know of, and had the problem with, the insecurity and the wife making more, or the whatever than them, or what have you, and stuff like that, and that's how it was growing up. Because my daddy was bred. My mama didn't work when I was growing up, so
Wow.
so we didn't really, I didn't really see that, problem with, the issue
Right.
that a lot of men go through today. I said if
Right.
I was dating women, I was in a yes, if I was dating women, I was in a relationship like that, my wife would have everything, quote unquote, everything. And when I say everything, she would have everything a woman should have. Because this is how I look at it from what I've seen, growing up and stuff as a child and as an adult. That it wasn't a story, not a story, but it was a situation where I went to a wedding, and this wedding, I didn't know the woman's husband, but I saw her. We were both in the parking garage waiting to get our cars. And this woman had on a diamond ring. I'm like, oh my God, who in the hell is her husband? Because she had on a big diamond ring. And then finally come to find out, some friends came out and asked them, who is her husband? And who is she? And they told me who she was. And her husband was a big time radio personality. I said, I knew she was somebody just by her ring. So I said all that to say this. If I was married a woman, my wife would have nice jewelry. You would know she's my wife because your wife represents you. as a man. My wife would have a nice ring. She would have, she would look nice. She would drive a nicer car than mine because that's her, because she's representing me. If more men let their wives represent them, I think women would be much more happier where they don't have to, can I buy some shoes today? Can I get this and can I get that? She represents you when she step out that house. And that's how I would be, because my mama represented my daddy. You knew who my mama was, and you knew she was my daddy's wife. Now his side chick, we didn't know who she was, but she ain't had what my mama had. So, but I think I always say that as a man, I think men should do that. Some men just want their wives beat down and are looking raggedy and stuff, and have their side chicks looking good and what have you and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I guess it's a thing.
No, they gotta. They'll represent you, but you have to take care of them. And I'm not even talking about a man having all the money in the world. If you just if you just go get her car washed and keep her car washed for her, if you just buy her something every now and again, if you can afford it, and take care of her, let people know that you honor her, you respect her,
exactly,
that you love her. Yeah, like your father did. Absolutely.
Yes. So, but that's just not the thing now. I mean, nowadays women got to do it themselves or whatever, and just men don't learn.
Right, and I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing some of our men riding around in their woman's car and don't have the drive to go get their own. Now, I understand that you may not have your own car, but I run into guys all the time in my business where they're comfortable using everything of their wives or their girlfriends. And I'm almost like, well, where's your stuff at? You know what I mean? And so I was at the mall the other day, and a young guy was going off on the lady he was with. I don't know if they were dating or what, but he was upset because she wouldn't buy him no shoes. And I'm like, that ain't even supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You're supposed to buy her some shoes.
Yeah. Like when I worked for a guy named Steve Harvey, he told me this. He said a 20-year-old Negro need 20-year-old things. So that means a 30-year-old one too, a 40-year-old one, and a 50-year-old one, and so on. You need certain things for your damn age. So and that's what, and I subscribe to that. So from what I learned at home, but hearing that from him as well too, though. So when I turned 30, I said, well, hell, it's time to get me a house, because I don't want everybody, oh, girl, come to my apartment. You just come to my house. So, but it's just interesting. But it's, no, we're just saying, okay. But anyway, but it's a good thing, though. But I'm glad you wrote the book, and I can't wait, to get my copy. But did I get a copy? I don't know if I got a copy of it or not, but if so, honey, I'm going to get my copy.
I'm going to send you one. I'm going to send you one if you don't have one.
Yeah, and I'm going to post it up, and I'm going to bring it to church and let Pastor read some excerpts from it. So, but anyway. But Pastor Buckner, I am so glad you stopped by. I appreciate it. I want you to tell the people again what's the title of the book, where they could get it, and how they could reach you.
Okay, the title of the book is 5 Things Every Man Needs. You can get it at PastorDwightBucknerJr.com or anywhere that sells books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get the book there. You can reach me. I'm on every social media platform, IG, Pastor Dwight Buckner Jr., TikTok, Pastor Dwight Buckner, Facebook, Twitter, every major platform I'm on.
All right, well, Pastor, thank you so much again, and good luck to you in your endeavors. And honey, I'm sure this book is going to help a lot of people. But like I said, get it in the elementary school children. Let some of them little children at school give it to their mama, so their mama could read it for her boyfriend and her husband and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. You got it, Gary. I appreciate you having me on your show, man.
Yes, anytime. And you have a great day and a better tomorrow.
You too. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. Don't forget now, if you like this, honey, click here, and there, and you could catch me everywhere, social media, and everywhere podcasts is found, honey. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.